Joseph Parker has things that you can't teach. He always has, like hand speed and a really good chin. They're fantastic attributes to have in the heavyweight division, especially good whiskers. But when it comes to having that edge to you, desire, whatever you want to call it, he doesn't seem to have it, or is at least really lacking in that attribute. Where's the urgency to elevate your career to the next level, to seize those moments that were there in that 12-round fight against Dereck Chisora, to put your foot to the gas pedal and try and do some damage? Let's get a stoppage against an okay opponent. Too often, Parker, with how he acts at the very beginning of the fight, how did he not expect a charge? That just showed a lack of intelligence. At the end of the fight, asking Andy Lee whether he thought he's won, he's just very unaware, it seems. It's like you've got the athleticism and the ability to hang at heavyweight, but there isn't the pilot to steer him in a prosperous direction. Because this Joseph Parker performance was very similar to many we've already seen. Flashes of goodness, inconsistent, and he allowed enough of a gap for people to say that Chisora deserved to win. I think Parker's neat boxing, and with how much Chisora tired, that allowed him to just take this one. But it wasn't convincing. Getting floored early doors, probably lost the last round. And those moments when he should have really capitalised, he didn't. We've seen that many times before. It's like, let's go for it. Let's take him out. You don't seem that tired, but for some reason, you're just looking at him now. That was enough right hands. I don't want to actually hurt you. Let's just move around and jab a bit more. It's constantly stuck in third gear. And you can change things technically about him, which Andy Lee may be in the process of doing. It's hard to see the results in just one fight. And I think Chisora was a hard style as well for Parker, so you're not going to see this great new renovation straight away. I did think he shortened up the right hand a little bit, which is one of the things they were talking about, so there is a bit of kudos there. But you can't change his mindset. If you have got real designs on becoming a champion again, you would not be happy with that performance. You wouldn't be saying, let's talk about a rematch. I'll ask Eddie, maybe we'll have a rematch. Yeah, thumbs up, burgers afterwards. No, if you really want to fight and do well, you would first say, I won that fight, no question. You wouldn't be asking your trainer. You'd be going, I won. And then secondly, you'd say, okay, I'm going to make the adjustments. I am going to improve. I know that wasn't representative of what I'm capable of. But Parker always just seems so passive. And to his detriment, because again, he's got the raw ingredients. He's got speed. He's got a chin. He's hanging with the top heavyweights and he can give you trouble. But you look at him and think, he's better than Chisora. He's better than White. But he's, lost to one and almost lost to the other. Chisora is a guy who's always had limited abilities, but has maximised them with his aggressive mindset, with that belief he has in himself. Good old cast iron, dogged determination. Whereas Joseph Parker is a guy who has a lot of ability, but he's just happy with maybe going even up with you, and he's not arsed. And we keep seeing it. I wouldn't really want to see a rematch because I think you'd get the same thing. Maybe Parker would win a little bit more convincingly because Chisora's so old now. He was breathing badly as early as the second and third round, which was the same against Usyk. Difference was Usyk was so much more consistent and definitely pulled away and won clearly. That wasn't a close fight. This was, but I thought Parker's jab, his neater and sharper contributions While inconsistent, they shaded most of the mid and late rounds. So yeah, it's hard to know where Parker's going because he's still capable, but I just really question his drive. You know, it just could be just a natural temperament thing with him. He's just happy to compete. And I just do not see that fire in the eyes. We do have to remember, he's already a rich man, isn't he? He made loads for the Joshua fight. I don't know what the pay-per-view sales were for this. I wouldn't imagine that good. Although you never know, there's a lot of pay-per-view mugs in this country, the UK that is. Because Matchroom has really targeted the football crowd here. It shouldn't have been pay-per-view. And if there's a rematch, they're going to try and make it pay-per-view again, which is ridiculous. 10 or more years ago, this would have been Friday Fight Night Live. You wouldn't have had to pay for it at all. And rightfully so, because you look at this fight, both of them, neither of them before were seen as a real threat to the top boys. And then you see a fight like that, and it doesn't really reflect that well on either of them. And that's just being honest. I'm not trying to be negative towards them. Get this stuff off pay-per-view, man. Because every time people pay for this, and they go, it's fine if I want to pay for it, you know, it's just like going to the cinema. But if you're saying that this is the acceptable standard of pay-per-view, they're going to keep spamming this, and the standard will drop. You will start paying for just British level at some point. Yeah, that's a separate topic, but there were things Parker did, I thought, that were a little bit better. He did try and clinch at times, which further smothered Chisora's tired efforts. And he did shorten the right hand a little bit, which they'd spoken about. Parker, in his fight against Junior Farr, you saw that he often telegraphs the right hand and he throws it over the back of your neck. This time it was a bit shorter, a bit crisper. We just didn't see enough of it. If there is a rematch and we have to go through that again, I would hope that Parker can find it within himself, because he's not going to find it anywhere else, that I am going to have to be more aggressive if I genuinely want to progress my career and get people excited about me again, rather than just applauding me for being a nice guy all the time.